Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, aunts and uncles and cousins, of course, and mamas or pawpaws, or if you prefer, grandmothers and grandfathers, and baseball fans everywhere. Welcome to this opening day of the Valley Baseball League right here. Everybody see it? Hold on. Gateway to the majors. Yeah, that's it. Hey, listen, I don't know about you, but I've had enough podcasts. I want to see some baseball. That's right, some baseball. So we've been working a couple of weeks now trying to assemble the best 42 games from the 2019 season. Yes, I know we want to bring you new games too, but in lieu of that, we're going to have to be a little creative. Let me show you what creative means in 2020. What do you guys see in my right hand right here? I'll ask my experts in a second. What do you see in my left hand? I'll ask my experts right here. All right, that said, it's opening day for the Valley Baseball League, so we're going to do the next best thing. We're going to be creative, and we're going to bring you a baseball rewind. Not just of opening day 2019. We're going to bring you the best 42 games of the season. But I've been promising everybody, that's right, everybody, a look at these games in a way you didn't get a chance to see it the first time. So let me introduce you to our team of experts. We've assembled a new look at the Valley Baseball League by bringing in Aaron Summers. Aaron, will you just take a second and introduce yourself to everybody?
Absolutely. I am so excited to be a part of Valley Baseball this summer. I've worked in summer baseball for the past 10 years in different capacities, starting way back in college. So I'm very familiar with what goes on in the Wood Bat Leagues, and I'm just excited to talk more baseball this summer.
Very nice. Hey, if you'd like to know more about Aaron, we put up a podcast about a week or so ago. A nice introduction there, gets into some details. I never did give away your age, Aaron. I know I didn't, but we definitely set the context. You are definitely a Summer Wood Bat League expert, but I'm hoping that what you'll bring to the fans this year is kind of a look at the Valley League from the new perspective. For people who haven't seen these games before, you're going to be kind of a first look at the Valley Baseball League. And Jordan Simmel, tell everybody who you are and how you came to be connected to the Valley League.
Well, everybody, I've come to know the Valley Baseball League through there were internship opportunities at James Madison University, and I found one on the flyer just downstairs in my college hall before the campus unfortunately went quiet. I've seen baseball played all over this great country of ours. I was stationed in Washington with the Navy. I saw everything from AA to AAA to pro games there, and I've just loved this game since I was a kid. So finally getting the opportunity to talk it over and really look in depth at great games like this. It's a fantastic opportunity, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Jordan, tell everybody how you spent the last couple of weeks in your time with the Valley Baseball League.
Well, in the past couple of weeks, aside from struggling with Adobe Premiere, essentially what I've been doing is I've been going and looking at every game played last season. And again, when you look at over 200 baseball games played and just narrowing it down to 42, it's a little difficult to find the best ones, but that's all I've been doing is finding the best games so that these fans can really have the best action from last year, and we can give them a closer look at some of the greatest moments of 2019's Valley League baseball season.
Yeah, and speaking of the best look at the 2019 season, no baseball game would be complete without a program. So I know you guys are thinking, where's the program for 2019? This isn't legit. It's totally legit because John Leonard spent a long time all season and then weeks afterwards assembling the 2019 annual. Both Jordan and Aaron have studied it intensely, and we invite you to study it intensely as well. If you'd like a copy, you can find it on the Valley Baseball League website. Our website, for some reason, is valleyleaguebaseball.com. That's valleyleaguebaseball.com. We're going to fix that this year. Or you can also find it on John's website, All Things Valley League. It's $10. It's 85,000 words, 65 pages of intense baseball stuff. And Joe Harmon said it best. It reads really well. How well does it read? Well, you're just going to have to get it and find out. So let's start this unique season. Aaron and Jordan, I'm going to ask you, what do you see in my right hand here? Work with me.
I go with nothing.
Jordan?
I'm seeing air and a couple of fingers.
No. See, this is the 2020 Valley League season. This is my big ballpark hot dog. You see all the relish and the mustard that's dripping down my arm? And what do you see in this hand?
I see a cold Coke.
Close. It's an ice cold beer. Definitely the 24-ouncer. All right, so I'm ready for the season to start. Jordan, why don't you start us off? Tell us a little bit about the first game, and then before we show everybody our first game, Aaron, we'll get your perspective on kind of what to look for in the Valley Baseball League as a newbie. Jordan, what do you have on tap for us? Notice the reference? See what I did there on tap?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Graham, you're an amazing man.
I'm original.
So for the opening of the 2020 season, it's the best way to be appropriate when you open up a new year. And in these circumstances, I think the best way to open up 2020, we have to open up with one of the opening day games from 2019. And one of the biggest upsets that came right off the bat for the new season, this was the game between the Woodstock River Bandits and the Purcellville Cannons. And for a little bit of just a backtrack on what Woodstock had gone through in 2018, this is a baseball team that went 5-37 the year before. They were banged up with injuries. They were short a few men, Graham. We talked about this yesterday. This was a baseball team that needed to scrounge up players to close out its season. They weren't going to back down to anybody, and you have to give them props for that. But to come into a brand new season, you are the road team. You're playing a team like Purcellville where the expectations are through the roof. They're beyond the fences in center field. And you come in, you open up 4-1. It was a statement. This is a David and Goliath game. Every game is a David and Goliath type game for a team like Woodstock. But they took it on the chin. They went in, said this is a brand new season, and they showed it to begin. This was a fantastic way to begin. 4-1 at the end of the first inning. And in Purcellville's defense, they did mount a comeback. It fell 2 runs short, but when you commit 4 errors in one ball game, it's going to be difficult to overcome that. But Woodstock, to really open up their new year after how difficult 2018 was, this was a fantastic opening statement by that team.
Yeah, Aaron, let me get your take on that. So let me set the stage for you. Purcellville had the team that came from the furthest part. They had the furthest player from the West Coast. They had a player come in from Hawaii, and they had the furthest players, as near as I can tell, from the East Coast that coming in from the Dominican. They had, I think, a couple of players coming in from the Dominican Republic. So that was their team. They were ready for a really big season. That's Purcellville. Really strong 2018 finish, ready to start off a big year 2019. That's the Purcellville Cannons. So the Woodstock River Bandits, they had a team along the lines of the Baltimore Orioles from the same year. I put up a podcast. They may have had the worst record, and I think the Orioles had the worst record since the 50s. I don't know how long it had been since the Valley League had gone 5-35 or 5 and whatever it was, 37. But that said, the Woodstock River Bandits had the biggest heart of any team I've ever seen. I put up a podcast about this as well. At the very end of the season, 2018, they still owed the Winchester Royals a couple games, and the Royals hadn't made the playoffs. They had 8 guys the night before that game. They managed to scrounge up a 9th. They came into Winchester with only 9 guys and played a doubleheader at the end of the season. And Winchester won those rounds and qualified for the playoffs. But Porky said it best, and I invite you guys to take a look at that game and that team. I mean, they're all heart. So, Aaron, what's your perspective on this? You're coming to the league with fresh eyes. How does it look to you?
It's an incredible turnaround from the last season in 2018 going 5-37, and then in 2019 they went 25-17. So that in itself shows how much they improved. Obviously a lot of new players, but the ability to rally together in that first game, capitalize on the errors that the Cannons had, and they had 4 errors. 3 of those errors came in that very first inning, and Woodstock was able to score 4 runs, 3 of those unearned, to capitalize on that right off the bat. And then you have to talk about the pitching in that game from them as well. Woodstock held Purcellville scoreless through the 5th inning. So that's pretty incredible too, especially, which we can talk about at some point, I'm sure, the trend in summer pitching that we've been seeing. But they really did a great job. They came out of the gates ready to play, and you can see how they just built off of that the rest of the summer.
Yeah, well, so a couple of themes we want to talk about. Well said, Aaron. I really appreciate that. Jordan as well. One thing to watch this 2019 rewind is Mike Bocock. Mike Bocock came back to the Valley Baseball League in 2019, and see the impact, what a difference a coach makes. Anyway, which one of you wants to say it? Aaron, you want to start us off, or Jordan, you going to do it? You guys ready? Come on, I got my hot dog.
I think Aaron should have the honors here.
Aaron, you want to start us off the 2019 season? You got the 4 magic words? It might be 5 magic words.
Wait, 5? I'm just thinking let's play ball.
That's it. Let's play ball.
Batting leadoff from LaSalle, your center fielder, number 17, Nick DePietros. Batting second from San Jacinto Community College, your shortstop, number 7, Jose Aquino. Batting third from Western Oklahoma Community College and playing first base, number 42, Jacob Stanley. Batting cleanup from Asa College, your right fielder, number 29, Manuel Reyes. Batting fifth from Howard Community College, your third baseman, number 24, Jose Gutierrez. Batting sixth from Radford University, a local boy, your second baseman, number 18, Clayton Bain. Batting seventh, all the way from the University of Hawaii, your left fielder, number 21, Max Kraft. Batting eighth from Eastern Kentucky, your designated hitter, number 1, Michael Brewer. Batting ninth, behind the disc for your Cannons, another local man from JMU, catcher Kyle Hayes. On the hill for your Cannons from UVA Wise, number 34, Greg Duncan. Your Cannons are managed by head coach Brett Fuller. Assistant coach Riggs Fuller is also the general manager. Assistant coach Rob Koski. Assistant coach Doug Walker. Assistant coach Dave Dingus. And the bullpen coach Ryan Richardson. And ladies and gentlemen, now if you will please rise and remove your caps. I got a special treat for you all here tonight, I promise you. Walking out right there, these folks are amazing. A big round of applause. Once again, we welcome in the Pickwick Singers.
All right, thanks.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran clear, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
that was a special treat.
Rolled out by head coach Mike Bocock in his first year as head coach. He'll go with Thomas Sanchez in the leadoff spot in center field, followed up by Coney Warner in left field. The 3-4 hitters will be doing the damage in the lineup. It's Nick Holessa at first base and James Deloach, the designated hitter. Batting fifth, Andrew Pugelli at third base, and the shortstop will bat sixth, Jake Jablonski. Rounding out the lineup, Jalen DeShazer in right field, Austin Bates, the catcher, and the 9-hole hitter, Connor Hood, is in second base. Purcellville defensively rolls out like this in the outfield left to right. Crab, DeVitrio, and Reyes. At the corners, Gutierrez at third, Stanley at first, turning the double plays up the middle. Aquino at short, Bain at second, and Hayes is catching Duncan.
And Greg Duncan, your starting pitcher tonight. And you said, Joe, as it'll be the pitcher out of UVA Wise. Duncan on the campaign this year. 15 appearances, all starts, 72 and a third innings pitched, 7-4 record, 3.24 ERA, 21 walks, 82 strikeouts, a .269 batting average against. And again, Joe, he was up here today, a sizable right-hander.
Yeah, a big frame at 6'2", 235. A local kid from Centerville, went to Westfield High School, of course, having always a lot of success in that baseball program there in Fairfax. So see if he can bring it. He's definitely got a high delivery, high arm slot. He's got a little bit of velocity behind it. It's going to be a lot for this River Bandits lineup to take.
And again, a local guy, a few local guys on this team, and almost ready to go. As coming to the plate will be Tomas Sanchez, the center fielder out of VCU. So, time for baseball here in Purcellville. So glad to have you along as the Cannons look to start another title defense as they look to knock off Woodstock, a team they handled all year last year. Sanchez steps in. Duncan is ready. And here is the first pitch of the season. It hits the plate, strike one. So a good start for the Cannons. Here's the second pitch, hit out to center field. Could be some trouble, and back and falling off the glove of Bain and getting past Reyes out into right field and getting into second base will be Sanchez. So not the way you want to start if you're the Cannons. That one kind of a little Bermuda Triangle there, and no one caught it.
Yeah, right out there in no man's land. Maybe should have been Reyes' ball, playing pretty deep out in right field. You got the shallow porch out in right field. Had a long way to go, just really in no man's land. Would have been a tough play for Bain to make. Got a glove on it, just can't corral it in.
It looks like that's going to be an error. It's going to be a hit, excuse me. It's going to be a hit. So it will be a hit as Sanchez goes to second. We'll check the scoring on that. So now in, it's Cody Warner. He'll foul this one off down the left field line. Warner out of VMI, tonight's left fielder.
And Duncan in some early trouble here. How about that? Your first batter faced a little bit of a defensive miscue, and now you got to work your way out of trouble.
Duncan comes home, bunt shown, he'll get it down, and no one at first base, thrown away, and that's going to be an error there. And coming in to score will be Sanchez, and early on defensive miscues for the Cannons as no one covered first. The charge by Stanley coming in, and Bain unable to cover second base, and Duncan tried to make the throw, no one home.
And that's just the challenge of playing with a bunch of guys you've never played for really more than 3 or 4 days. I'd imagine that won't happen again, but just a little bit of miscommunication between Bain at second and Stanley, the first baseman, nobody covering the bag, and then Duncan already on his way throwing to first, just couldn't hold back and kind of lightly tossed it out into right field for extra bases.
Now here's Nick Holessa, tonight's first baseman out of Virginia Tech. Here's the pitch. This will be on the outside corner for a strike. Holessa, lefty batter. Woodstock in their green jerseys tonight. Think Miami Hurricanes for the color scheme. Here's the 0-1. Hit up the middle, off the foot of Duncan, chases it down, shovels over in time to Stanley for the first out of the inning.
And now the Cannons catch a break there right off the shins of Greg Duncan. You got to think if that gets by, maybe the shortstop Aquino makes a play, but that had a little bit of umph on it. Could have gotten into the outfield, so the Cannons, after a couple of defensive miscues, catch a break in the first.
So, advancing over to third base is Warner. And now James DeLoach comes to the plate. Righty swinger will take the breaking ball for ball one. DeLoach, also a pitcher out of Norfolk State. Here's the 1-0, hit down the right field line, but gets foul into these majestic oak trees here at Fireman's Field. See, have you ever played a game up here before?
I have. Back in high school, this is the former home of Loudoun Valley High School, now a new stadium, which is probably 2-3 years old. Played a few games. It's a great sight to see. Obviously, radio doesn't do it justice. I'm sure it'll only get prettier as the summer goes along.
It's what's like having a fellow Loudoner like you. I don't have to talk about the majestic oaks all the time. This one's in the dirt. Hayes won't get it. Runner coming home. Throw will not be in time. It gets past the glove of Duncan anyway. So Hayes, known for his good defense, unable to stop that one, gets the backstop and brings in Warner from third. And now Woodstock with a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, it looked like it was easily able to keep in front from Hayes there behind the plate, but just squirting away. Tried to kind of pick a ball that probably should have been blocked, and River Bandits in business with the 2-0 lead in the first.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. This will be hit out to center field. Going back is DiVietro. He is going to make the catch about 3 steps in front of the center field fence for the second out of the inning.
Even that ball was put on a charge. Great job there. DiVietro making the catch over his shoulder. A long run for that one. The Cannons badly need to get out of this inning.
VCU number 6. Andrew Puglielli, the third baseman.
Andrew Puglielli up now. Third baseman out of VCU. Here's the pitch. And that'll be in for a strike. I believe I got that pronunciation wrong. What is it, Joe?
Pugelli.
Thank you. Here's the pitch, and that is a swing and a miss for strike 2. So we're going Puglielli. 0-2 pitch. Here it is, and this will be hit to Bain at second base and gets by his diving attempt. So another hit, another base runner on for Woodstock as Puglielli with the single to keep the inning going for Woodstock.
That was a well-executed pitch from Duncan. You just have Bain shaded up the middle, just out of the reach on the dive. Kind of I guess another tough break in an inning full of tough breaks for the Cannons. Just want to get out of this inning. As badly, you can tell Greg Duncan's starting to not quite labor, but you can kind of tell in his face that he's kind of made a couple of mistakes that just shouldn't have happened.
And again, you can't give teams extra outs at any level of baseball. Here's the pitch to Jablonski. Jacob Jablonski takes strike 1. Jablonski out of Arkansas State, one of 2 Arkansas State Red Wolves in the lineup tonight for Woodstock. The other one, the next batter, Jalen DeSazer.
Yeah, please.
Here is the 0-1 pitch, actually thrown over and gets off the glove of Stanley, trying for the pickoff, and it'll be an extra base for Puglielli.
And now Duncan very visibly frustrated out there on the mound. At this point, you can't worry about the guys on the bases. You've got 2 outs. You're starting to get to the bottom of the lineup. Got to face what's in front of you. Pitch the batter. Try and get a ground ball out here.
So 0-1 count to Jacob Jablonski.
Should be on your page.
Puglielli, the runner, down at second base. Duncan comes set. Here's the off-speed pitch. Will miss high. Evens up the count at 1-1. Nice crowd here tonight. Almost full on the Cannon side. You folks here from Woodstock, too, making the long drive. 1-1 pitch is inside for ball 2.
Of course, always got to come out to the ballpark on opening day. Today, Valley League opening day combined with the start of the NCAA tournament. One of the better baseball days if you're a fan, I would say, in the calendar year.
Keno showed behind the runner at second base, and now Duncan misses high for ball 3, so in danger of his first base on balls of the game. So Duncan, deep breath, now comes to the plate. That is going to miss for ball 4. Duncan did not like that call from home plate umpire Mike Mazza.
Yeah, looked good from our vantage point up here. Must have just missed a little low. Looked like it was right on the black.
Jalen DeShazier.
Here's Jalen DeShazier. Comes in. 6'3", 215-pounder. Does have home run power. 5 homers for Arkansas State this year. He stands in. Duncan really could use the out here with 2 men on. This will be hit out to right field, and it is going to fall in front of Reyes. 1 run is in. Reyes gets it in. Hayes will block it. Runner thinks about going down to second base, but does not. But the RBI single by DeShazier, that makes it Woodstock 3 and the Cannons nothing, and an ugly start for Purcellville here in their season opener.
And that's just kind of a off the end of the bat, right, kind of in shallow right field. Nothing you do about that. It was a well-executed pitch. It was on the outside part, just kind of flailing. Probably not the pitch you want to swing at early in the at-bat. Getting a little lucky there behind the first base, but nonetheless, River Bandits doing whatever they can to keep the inning alive.
Now Austin Bates comes to the plate, the catcher out of Eastern Florida State. Here's the pitch. This will be low for ball 1. Runner down at third base is Jablonski. While the runner down at first is DeShazier after the RBI single. Here's the pitch. The off speed will be high, I believe, as Mazza says ball 2.
I mean, that must have been high. Again, you can tell Duncan's getting a little frustrated with the umpiring. It's not great. You're getting frustrated in the first inning.
2-0, fouled off. We'll get back into the courts. Of course, the courtyard here at Fireman's Field, where we sell all our great Cannons merchandise, also where the beer sales are.
Always got to know where the beer cart's located.
A bunch of the firemen from Purcellville still on their truck out in left center. That one's a wicked shot over top of the Cannons dugout. Makes the count 2-2.
Duncan starting to hunker down here. He's taking matters into his own hands, trying to get out of this inning. Another high heat there, just kind of slapped foul from Bates.
So Duncan with runners on the corners. Chance to get out of this inning. With a strike here. Runner goes. That's going to be outside. Hayes doesn't even throw down as that one was completely stolen on to Shazier as Duncan just didn't hold him on, and he gets down to second base. So now 2 in scoring position. From the windup, here comes Duncan. Hit out to shortstop. Diving stop, knocked down, but Aquino can't get it over to first base. So an infield single and another run in for Woodstock. River Bandits now lead at 4-0.
This is just the Cannons shooting themselves in the foot. This is, a Woodstock team that only won 5 games last year. Obviously, there's not as much continuity of the rosters, so this may not be a 5-win team standing in the dugout now, but a franchise that really hasn't had too much to play for the last season, giving them 4 runs on 2 errors, still waiting for a decision here. It could be 3, probably should be 3 errors, but it's just really tough to see when Greg Duncan is out there grinding on the mound and having some errors behind him.
So the 9th batter of the inning will come to the plate. It's Connor Hood out of Seton Hall. Pirates a good hitting team. Interesting to see what Hood will do here. Throw over to first base. Back in plenty of time is Bates. Actually called a few of Hood's games. Played against Georgetown in a series a couple years ago. But the Pirates, known to hit it pretty well, and he'll swing and miss at strike 1.
So that Austin Bates play goes down as a single. And Keno had a little ways to go to his left side.
Definitely was going to be a tough play for him. Had to go way up the middle to knock it down. Here's the pitch. This is going to be on the outside corner for strike two. And, of course, Joe, the interesting thing is if you're able to keep the Shazier over at first base, you might be able to get the force out at second instead. They stayed out of that extra force possibility and let another run in. But now Duncan has a chance to end the inning with a strike here. 0-2 pitch is going to miss inside for ball one.
And you wonder how much of it is the miscommunication of playing with new guys or just making errors on an individual level.
1-2 pitch misses way outside as Hayes snags it.
So you would think that obviously that gets worked out over time, and that's something that I'm sure both teams are going to experience tonight and through the weekend of our first weekend of games. But the sooner that gets figured out for not just the Cannons but all teams is kind of when you start to hit your groove.
2-2 pitch, runner goes. This will be fouled off, so the hit and run does not work for Woodstock there, but Hood, of course, stays alive, fouling that one off.
Got that one. Number 33 got that one, my bad.
Pitch count moving up. Not what you want, and Brett Fuller telling us before the game that really want to get his guy through 5. Looks like that's going to be a tough ask tonight. 2-2 pitch and throw over to first base, and Mack in plenty of time again is Bates.
And the last thing you want to do with a team that is already missing a few guys due to their college commitments is dip into the bullpen early with a weekend full of games.
Here's the 2-2, and it'll be foul tipped into the mitts of Hayes, so the strikeout ends the inning, but not before Woodstock brings 9 to the plate. After a 1/2 inning, it's Woodstock 4 and the Cannons coming up.
All right, fans, we got a busy night.
Percival Cannons season is sponsored in part by Banshee Motor Cars, Lowers Risk Group, Crop Metcalf, Bill Russatella PMA Insurance Services, Loudon Valley Floors, Valley Energy, Wegmeyer Farms, Doug Walker Merrill Lynch, Donnie Ulmer Mill Creek Farm Meats, Hit and Run Sports Cars, Terry's Body Shop, Loudon Lumber, the Percival Pub, Lowry's Crab Shack, Joe Fleming Painting, Sandy Weir Landmark Group Commercial, Casa Tequila Bar and Grill, Hartley Home Exteriors, Anytime Fitness, Allegra Print Signs Design, the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, J.R. Snyder Plumbing, Climactic Heating and Cooling, National Sports Medicine Institute, Pack Rat Hauling, Norbo Dental, Beckwith Bowl, Carter Braxton. There's no better way for a family to spend a summer night than with the Percival Cannons. The Cannons are Loudoun County's team in the Valley Baseball League, and they play their home games at historic Fireman's Field in Percival, the county's premier baseball venue. Adult tickets are $5, 65 and over get in for $3, while kids tickets are just $2. What a deal. So see tomorrow's stars today and hear the crack of the bat when you check out the Percival Cannons. Cannons trailing 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the first with your lineups. Here's Joe.
Brett Fuller's opening day lineup looks a little something like this. Nick DiVietro will lead things off from the left side. He's in center field. Jose Aquino will be on deck to start the top of the first at shortstop. Middle of the lineup, the heart of the order, Jacob Stanley at first base, batting third to clean up Manuel Reyes. Out in right field, Jose Gutierrez will be at third base, hitting fifth. That's Clayton Bain right behind him at second base in the 6 hole. Followed up by Max Crabb in left field, Michael Brewer, the designated hitter, and Kyle Hayes, the catcher. Defensively, Woodstock left to right in the outfield, Warner, Sanchez, DeShazer. Left side of the infield, Puglielli and Jablonski, Hood and Holessa. On the right side of the infield, and you have Bates catching Whiteman.
Thank you, Joe. Yep, that's Brett Whiteman, the pitcher, right-hander out of Potomac State, as Nick DiVietro steps in and takes high for ball one on the season at Potomac State. Whiteman, 11 appearances, 10 of those starts, 52 2/3 innings pitched to a 5.30 ERA, as this will be in for strike one. 6-2 record on the season for Whiteman, also through 2 complete games, 74 Ks for him on the campaign. Here's the 1-1. This will be hit off the dugout I believe, hit off the facing of the dugout of Woodstock.
Might have caught a coach. See a coach come down off the top of the steps. Hopefully everything's all right there. Maybe just a little rattled. Comes back up to the top step. Looks like everything's all right.
One of the good things about Fireman's Field, they do have fencing on the side and in the front of the dugout. As this will be taken for strike 3 as DiPietro caught looking as Whiteman with his first strikeout of the game.
And Brett Whiteman, a JUCO product, but certainly, a big 6'2", 190, a strikeout pitcher. You mentioned 74 strikeouts in 11 appearances. He's going to get guys down. And you saw it right there. Just kind of put up Nick DiPietro and put him down just like that.
So, coming to the plate now is Jose Aquino, the shortstop out of San Jacinto North College. Whiteman's pitch will miss inside for ball 1.
Cannons need to get something going early here with the top of the lineup.
This will be just off the outside corner for ball 2. So Aquino working the count in his favor. Caught up with Jose quickly before the game, asked him how to say his last name. Exactly what I thought, and that's going to be fouled off. Much like former Philippine President Corazon Aquino. That is lost on you, I'm sure, my friend.
It absolutely is.
Everybody else in the booth probably remembers that, but not you. 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball will miss. So Aquino's worked the count in his favor to 3-1. 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Cannons trailing it 4-0. Hit out to right center field, going back to Shazier, and that one's going to get out of here as Jose Aquino, in his first at-bat as a Cannon, finds the sweet spot of this park, that inviting short porch in right center field, and puts the Cannons on the board. Now Woodstock 4 and the Cannons 1.
Yeah, hitters count right there, 3-1. The righty took the middle outside fastball right over that 340 sign out in right center field. Just kept on carrying. Not too much really wind to affect the ball. That was just all power right behind him. And that's one way to chip away into the 4-run lead in the bottom of the first.
That home run brought to you by Loudon Lumber. Of course, you probably heard Bill Russatella saying that, but again, that is the one thing about this park. It is very inviting if you're a lefty pull hitter, or if you're a righty can go the other way because of the short dimensions out in right center field. Jacob Stanley at the plate, and he will not be able to hold up on the breaking ball in the dirt, so down 0-1, excuse me.
You got 310 down the line, 340 in the power alley where that ball just went. It jumps way out to 387 in center field, so absolutely right about the power lefties.
Breaking ball will be in for a strike to Stanley. And folks, those you may not be familiar, long time here at Fireman's Field, played youth football here, so they really had to incorporate a football field in the outfield dimensions. Here's the 0-2 pitch, fouled off, so Stanley stays alive and I think got a piece of Bates behind home plate on the backswing. So just picture it, folks. You kind of have to get that rectangle in some way, and the way they went about it was really it's 310 down the right field line, 340 in right center, 367 out in center, then gets deep in left center at 388. Here's the pitch, 0-2, and swing and a miss at the high fastball by Stanley, so he goes down swinging. Second strikeout of the game for Whiteman.
Brought the high fastball there, setting him up with the hook on the pitch before that. Again, it's kind of picturesque, something that I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot from a strikeout pitcher such as Brett Whiteman.
So now, Manny Reyes, the right fielder out of ASA College in Miami. Here's the pitch, and big swing and a miss by Reyes for strike 1. Reyes, big man in that right batter's box, and he'll swing and miss again for strike 2.
Really fooled on that curveball there. Brett Whiteman getting exactly what he wants outside of Jose Aquino in this first inning for the Cannons.
6'6", 240 is Reyes. But he's down 0-2 with 2 outs. Breaking ball will miss. And I think Whiteman really wanted that one. Doesn't get it. So Reyes stays live at 1-2. Whiteman delivers. Hit out to shortstop off the big hop. Jablonski throws over in time for the 3rd out of the inning. So the home run by Aquino, lone run of the inning for the Cannons after 1 complete. It's Woodstock 4 and the Cannons 1.
Welcome back from the first inning of the Purcellville-Woodstock game. We're going to stop you right here, and we are going to be looking into more games from the opening day of 2019. Now, as far as the Purcellville and Woodstock game finished, it's incredibly hard to come back from 4 errors, 3 of which, as Aaron mentioned earlier, were committed by Purcellville. And when you have 4 errors in a baseball game, folks, despite how hard you fight back, sometimes it can be a little too much to overcome. Woodstock is going to really come in strong, start off their 2019. They're going to have, at this point, 20% of their total win total from the year before. They would go on to defeat Purcellville 7-5 in their opening day of 2019.
Yeah, sorry, Aaron. What is that? Sorry, Jordan. That's such a great way to frame it. They just won 20% of their 2018 season. Aaron, you're coming to the Valley Baseball League. What's your reaction to that? I mean, what does that feel like to you?
It's an incredible story for day one of the season, knowing what they went through last year, knowing that they brought coach back who was able to kind of reinvent the team this season. And then, I mean, if you think about it, you mentioned that Purcellville did try to come back. It was 4-1 after the first inning, 6-2 after the 5th inning, and they didn't give up. It ended up 7-5. But if you take away those errors, honestly, Purcellville would have won. It would have been 5-3. So it's a great way to start things off, and you never know what can happen in a baseball game.
Yeah, well, it feels good to be Woodstock to get a win under their belt in 2019, but it certainly is, the theme of that game is Purcellville beat themselves maybe a little bit more than Woodstock did. So, Jordan, let's set up our viewers. It's opening day. We're not going to play all of these games in I want to say in perpetuity, but that's the wrong word. We're not going to play all these games in their entirety. Perpetuity, entirety, hockey players, what do we know? Tell everybody what our game plan is here.
All right, Graham. Well, the game plan for opening day, at least, there will be whole games replayed, of course, throughout the course of this year. But for opening day, we wanted to do something special, and we're going to take 4 of the 5 games from opening day. There was a lack of footage from one of them, unfortunately, but what we just saw was part of the Purcellville and Woodstock game, and we wanted to bring you, for example, the 4-run first inning that Woodstock had over Purcellville at the end. It was a 4-1 score. That arguably is the best part of that game.
All right, Jordan, what do you have on tap for? See what I did there? What do you have on tap for our second game, opening day 2020?
Well, Graham, we're going to move over for game 2 of our opening day collection. We're going to go to the middle innings of the Charlottesville Tom Sox and the Harrisonburg Turks. And this is a fun one because it's, an hour down I-81 to get to these 2 cities, these 2 towns. And you know what? There's a good rivalry that goes on between the Tom Sox and Harrisonburg. Never mind that I called it cities. They're both way too small to be those. But this is big city attitude for small town baseball. And the Turks don't know this yet. No one knows this yet. But Charlottesville, these are your 2019 champions. And for 2 years in a row, Harrisonburg is going to finish dead last in the South. Charlottesville is going to be second. But you wouldn't know that at the end of this game. Harrisonburg put up a fantastic effort in this one, and that really could be spurred by their pitcher, Austin Cohn, who took the mound for game 1 of the season. He would go in, pitch 6 full innings, only give up 3 hits. And I wish the same thing could be said for Carter Malone, the Charlottesville pitcher, because he gave up twice as many hits in half the amount of time, 3 innings pitched and 6 hits. But offensively, the middle innings are where the action happened. And we're not going to give away the inning, but there were a lot of offensive hits that really played into the conclusion of this one.
Yeah, you know what I really like here, Jordan, is how you kind of have a general theme of role reversals. We had the role reversal from 2018 to 19 with both the Cannons and the River Bandits, and now you've also got a bit of a role reversal here with the Turks and the Tom Sox. Aaron, how's it look from your from your point of view?
Well, I know that the focus was on pitching in that intro, but there was a lot of offense in this game, and that's what turned the tide for Harrisonburg to be able to take the victory at the end. So I'm really excited to watch and see what happened in that magical 5th inning.
Yeah, that magical 5th inning. All right, Jordan, bring it on, right?
My turn to say the 3 magic words, Graham?
Yeah.
All right. Fans, let's play ball.
See what he did there?
Let's take a look around the Valley League scoreboard as a bunch of other teams are in action on opening night. It's the first pitch to Nichols, misses outside. The Strasburg Express and Newmarket Rebels are playing up in Newmarket, where the Rebels lead 3-2 in the bottom of the 5th inning as the 1-0 pitch is fouled into the net behind home plate. 1-1 count now to Nichols. Woodstock and Purcellville are playing. The River Bandits currently have a 7-3 lead over the Cannons in the bottom of the 8th inning. The 1-1 pitch misses high and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Nichols. The Waynesboro Generals currently have a 5-2 lead over the Covington Lumberjacks in the top of the 8th at Kate Collins Field. The 2-1 pitch misses outside, so 3 balls and 1 strike to Michael Nichols, leading off the top of the 5th. And rounding out our Valley League action tonight at Gypsy Hill Park in Stanton, the Braves have a 7-4 lead over the Front Royal Cardinals in the bottom of the 5th. Just the 3-1 pitch misses, and Nichols will draw a walk to lead off the inning.
And join us tomorrow night when the Harrisonburgs take on the Waynesboro Generals at Eagle Field. And remember, if you can't make it to the game in person, you can always watch us on Facebook Live, courtesy of Sheets, Run and Down, and by Subway. Make it what you want. Solid hit.
Cooper lines the first pitch that he sees into left field. Bryant will throw it in. That's a single for Cooper. Now Tom Sox have runners on first and second to lead the top of the 5th.
Yeah, the first baseman, Walker Malley, up right now. He homered twice during the Rhode Island series in March, and went 3 for 4 versus Mount St. Mary, where he homered and drove in a triple, scoring twice.
So Wally comes up with runners on first and second, no outs, and he drives the first pitch of the EC is a high fly ball into right field. Reef Snyder's going back at the wall, bounces off the banners above the wall, and that's going to be a hit. Gets down. Nichols comes around third. He's heading for home. The throw in time.
Oh, he's out.
And Peter applies the tag for the play at the plate.
Cade Hungate, the catcher right there, was ready for that.
Caston Peter made the tag at the plate. Save Tom Sox from scoring a run, and the Turks still have a 3-0 lead in the top of the 5th inning. Matthew Cooper did make it to third on the play. A single by Walker and Wally, and that's going to bring up Gregory Ryan, the second baseman for Charlottesville. Comes up with runners on the corners, 1 out. And he drives the first pitch that he sees into center field. Lynch comes in to make the grab. And he looks like he fell over in pain there. It's taking a little bit to get up. A run does come across as Cooper comes across to score the first run of the night for the Tom Sox.
He's on his feet now. Hopefully he'll feel all better. Visibly limping.
Still leaning over. Looks like he's in pain. Trying to walk it off. Turks are sending a trainer out there, and now head coach Bob Weiss starting to make his way out there. He was able to come in and dive, make the catch. Cooper did come across the score, so it is a 3-1 ball game now. Turks leading over the Tom Sox.
Coach Weiss coming out to check up on him. He seems to be feeling better.
Looks like
Or
they're going to take him out, though.
yeah, it looks like he's coming off.
Must have been something when he dove for the ball.
Yeah, it was a great effort there to make that diving catch, but on the fall or on the run, something Something must have happened there.
It looks like number 12, Jacob Edwards, is going to go out to replace him in center field. So wishing all the best to Austin Lynch. Hope that it's nothing too serious.
Yeah, the fans here showing their support. You know, that's not what you want to see here in a summer league baseball, but you know, unfortunately those can be part of the game. We'll wish him a speedy recovery. Up to bat now for the Tom Sox, we have Jacob Selden.
Selden takes the first pitch that he sees low and outside. A 1-0 count to the Tom Sox catcher. So runner on first as the 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed. Count evens up at 1-1. I believe it's a 2-1 count. The scoreboard's showing there. Now they've updated it. So 2-1 count now to Jacob Selden. Cohen fires the 2-1 pitch in there. That one misses low in the dirt. It's 3 balls and 1 strike.
Walker and Wally on first for the Tom Sox. He will advance to second if there's another ball here.
2 outs in the top of the 5th. 3-1 pitch is in there for a called strike. So a full count now to Jacob Selden. Runner on first and 2 outs. Turks lead 3-1 here at Eagle Field. Cohen comes set on the mound, fires the pitch in there. Runner goes. That one misses in the dirt, and it's going to be a walk. So Selden will head down to first, and Wally gets all the way to third on the pass ball. So now runners on the corners again for the Tom Sox as they head back to the top of the order. Be number 21, Ramon Garza, coming up for Charlottesville. Right fielder that made a great catch right at the wall to end the bottom of the 4th inning. Takes the first pitch for a called strike. 0-1 to Garza.
Just today, he's made about 2 great catches out there at right field, playing a good game so far.
Seen a lot of hard hits. Nothing has left the ballpark yet. These outfielders are able to get there as the 0-1 pitch is in there for a called strike. 0-2. A lot of speed on these outfielders, a lot of range. Some hard hit balls that you would think would be hits. If they're able to get there in time to make the catch. As Garza gets set for the 0-2 pitch, Cohen from the stretch. That one's in the dirt and outside.
Yeah, his freshman year at Cornell, you know, he was the team's primary shortstop, but he was able to transition to right field, and it's paying dividends right now for the Tom Sox.
The 1-2 pitch fired in there by Cohen. That one's fouled off over the net down the first base line. That one might have gone over to the JMU softball field.
Local kids chasing it right there, trying to get their freezy pop.
That's what summer nights are all about when you're that age. Chasing foul balls at Turks games. The 1-2 pitch gets by the catcher, and a run does come across, and Wally will come across to score on the pass ball. Now Charlottesville cutting into the lead. Now 3-2. The Turks lead in the top of the 5th.
Good awareness there from Wally to see that the pitch was bobbled, able to make it across.
Selden made it to second on the play. Now the count's even at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ramon Garza. As Peter calls for time. Allows Cohen to get reset. Deliver the 2-2 pitch to Garza. Fires it in there just inside, and it's a ball. 3-2. Another full count. He hadn't had a full count all night, and now back-to-back batters. Austin Cohen has had a full count. He fires the pitch in there and misses low, and another walk. Ramon Garza takes his base.
Yeah, that'll bring up Cayman Richardson out of UVA. In the summer of 2018, played with the Kalamazoo Growlers in the Northwoods League. named the number 25 prospect in the league by D1Baseball.com, when he was even invited to the MLB Dream Showcase.
Now, coach is going to go out there, have a quick conference with Cohen, try to talk him down, calm him a little bit. He's walked 2 straight batters, given up 2 runs, 2 hits this inning, the first 2 hits of the game for Charlottesville. Runners on first and second. Cayman Richardson comes up to the plate. 2 outs, a 3-2 ball game. The Turks lead over Charlottesville. The first pitch to Richardson, just high, 1 ball, no strikes.
You know, Richardson, another very versatile player, saw action in 47 games with 41 starts, starting 28 of those at center field, 5 at shortstop, 5 at left field, and 3 at third base.
The 1-0 pitch, that one's in there for a called strike across the plate. Count evens up at 1-1. Richardson tonight 0 for 2, grounded out to third his first time up, and then last inning grounded out to shortstop.
Yeah,
the 1-1 pitch misses just low. 2 balls and a strike.
You know, batting .256 for the Cavaliers with 24 runs scored, 7 doubles and 18 RBIs. So, you know, very versatile player, not only in the infield but also at batting.
The 2-1 pitch is grounded down the third base line to Smith, and he'll just run and tag third base for the 3rd out of the inning. Tom Sox get 2 runs across the plate in the top of the 5th inning on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave 2 runners on base. The Turks lead 3-2 as we head to the bottom of the 5th, and it'll be Josh Madole, Jed Bryant, and Aaron Levy coming up for Harrisonburg when we come back. Welcome back to Eagle Field at Veterans Memorial Park. Matthew Atkins and Rodrigo Aviles with you, bringing you opening night action for the Harrisonburg Turks against the Charlottesville Tom Sox. Go ahead and mark your calendars for the 2019 Valley Baseball League All-Star Game. It'll be Sunday, July 7th at 7:30 p.m. right here at Veterans Memorial Park in Harrisonburg. Plan on taking in all the action. The game starts at 7:30 p.m., but the fun starts at 3:30 p.m. with batting practice, a 60-yard dash, and a home run derby will all take place before the game. Sunday, July 7th at 7:30 p.m. here at Veterans Memorial Park. Josh Madole leads it off for the Turks in the bottom of the 5th. First offering from Freeman is on the low outside corner for a called strike. Freeman back out for his 2nd inning of work. Had a 3-up, 3-down inning in the 4th. Struck out Lynch before retiring Mellett and Budzik. The 0-1 pitch to Madole misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
His father, Jack Freeman's father, was also a pitcher. His father, Rob.
The 1-1 pitch, that one misses low and outside. So 2 balls and a strike now to Madole. So Madole is one of those returning players to the Turks in 2019. So the 2-1 pitch is driven into right center field. Garza is going to chase it all the way to the wall. Madole rounds first, heading for second. He's going to have a stand-up double to lead off the bottom of the 5th for the Turks. And that's going to bring up Jed Bryant with a runner on second and nobody out. Bryant 2 for 2 tonight with a triple and a run scored in the 2nd inning and then a single in the 3rd. As I was saying, Josh Madole is one of multiple returning Turks in 2019. Other Turks that are back for their second season include Tyler Bloomquist, Eli Ellington, Cam Irvin, and Alex Rodriguez. And then a few Turks players that haven't joined us yet, Mason Studstill, Bailey Sutton, and Jack Wilson, have not arrived in Harrisonburg yet, but multiple players returning to Harrisonburg for their second season of Valley League baseball. The first pitch to Bryant is high and inside, brushes him off the plate a little bit. 1 ball and no strikes. The 1-0 pitch misses in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes now to Bryant. Turks leading off the inning with an extra base hit. A double by Madole. Bryant led off the second inning with a triple. As he fouls off the 2-0 pitch, looked like a check swing. Just got a piece of the bat, fouled into the net. So 2 balls and a strike now to Jeb Bryant. Turks lead 3-2 over Charlottesville on opening night in downtown Harrisonburg. Friedman comes set on the mound. He's eyeing Madole over there at second, but decides to pitch, and that one's in the dirt, so 3 balls and a strike. Temperature has cooled off a bit. Didn't think we were going to get this game in for a while there. A bunch of thunderstorms rolled through the area. First pitch was supposed to be at 7:30. Got delayed to 8:40. Due to lightning strikes and rain and thunderstorms passing through, but it all cleared up and we've been able to play some baseball as the 3-1 pitch is in there for a called strike and a full count now to Jeb Bryant.
Yeah, you know, the thunder, the lightning, it did not deter the Turks fans, and they came out in a good amount today to show their support for their team.
Charlottesville looks well represented as they've got some fans down the first baseline outside their dugout. The full count pitch in there for a called strike 3, and Bryant goes down looking.
Yeah, the Turks are going to need to find a way to adjust to the Friedman taking over Malone as a pitcher.
That's going to bring up Aaron Levy, the designated hitter for the Turks tonight. Comes up to the plate with a runner on second. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. The Turks lead 3-2 over Charlottesville. First pitch from Friedman. Swing and a miss.
Levy playing 51 games for the Ohio University Bobcats. Started 49 of those games as a freshman, hitting a batting average of .230 with 5 home runs. Third on the team for that.
Freeman peering in for the sign from Selden. Comes set on the mound from the stretch. The pitch low and outside. The count's going to even up at 1 ball and 1 strike to Levy.
You know, as we said earlier, Levy with an uncle and a cousin who both played in the major leagues, hoping to make it there one day as well.
Levy's 1 for 2 tonight with a single, an RBI, and a run scored all in the second inning. Flew out to center field in the third. The 1-1 pitch is in the dirt, gets by the catcher, and Madole is going to head to third on the pass ball.
Yeah, Madole was eyeing that. You know, Friedman kept on looking back, making sure he wasn't going to steal it, but after the bumble right there from Cade Hungate, Madole was able to make it a third.
So a 2-1 count now to Levy. Freeman comes set, runner on third. The pitch is in there for a called strike. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes for the Turks' designated hitter.
Yeah, that ball was coming in very close. Good breaking ball right there from Friedman.
2-2 pitch, 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. A 3-2 ball game. Freeman steps off the mound. Take time to get reset. And Levy's back in the batter's box, ready for the 2-2 pitch. Fired in there right around his shins. The count goes full to Levy. Second time he's faced a full count tonight. 2-2 pitch swung on, driven past the pitcher's mound into center field.
Madden
And Madol's going to come around to score.
Yeah, shortstop Kevin Madden dove for that, but that ball had a lot of muster behind it, going straight past him.
Big single up the middle, an RBI for Aaron Levy. As Josh Madol comes home from third. Now the Turks lead 4-2 in the bottom of the fifth.
You know, Levy had the composure to face that full count the second time tonight and got a solid hit right there. Able to get the ball in play, and, you know, Turks have been doing that all night. That's exactly what Coach Weiss wants.
And that's going to bring up the catcher, Caston Peter. He's 0 for 2 tonight, popped out to second in his first time up. Then in the third inning, he flew out to right field. The first offering from Friedman misses outside. Runner on first with 1 out in the bottom of the fifth.
Caston Peter.
Fouls that one off towards the Tom Sox dugout.
Native from Houston, Texas. No wonder he loves him some Mexican food.
Yeah, he did say his favorite food was Mexican.
You know any Mexican food places around here, man?
Oh yeah, plenty of options. El Charro's the classic. Jalisco's a pretty good option too. The 1-1 pitch driven hard into left center field. Casper's going to chase it down. It falls in front of him, and that's a single for Caston Peter. Turks have runners on first and second now with 1 out.
Good hit right there by Peter.
So that'll bring up Travis Reefsnyder, the right fielder out of JMU. He's reached base twice tonight, a single in the second inning, and he reached by a walk in the third. He comes up with runners on first and second, 1 out in the bottom of the fifth. The Turks have a 4-2 lead over Charlottesville. The first pitch from Friedman misses outside.
Players on first and second for the Turks. 2-1 count, 1 out.
He fouls that one off. It rolled towards the pitcher's mound. Friedman was going to play it, but the umpire called it foul. So the count should be at, the scoreboard says 2-2. So Reefsnyder settles back into the box for the 2-2 pitch. He fouls that one off down the third base line. A high fly foul ball. Landing in the Turks bullpen, but they do have some action over there.
Yeah, some players warming up.
So it's a 1-2 count now. Scoreboard showing 2-2. It's 1-2. So Reefsnyder gets ready. Freeman comes off the mound. Calls time. Peers back in looking for the sign from Selden. He comes set from the stretch. And a big swing and a miss on the 1-2 pitch from Reefsnyder. He goes down swinging for the second out of the inning.
Bryson Smith up next.
Yeah, Smith will come up. Runners on first and second and 2 outs. Here in the fifth at Eagle Field.
You know, 400 on-base percentage for Smith, so he's going to be looking to see if he can get on base tonight again.
First offering from Freeman, a check swing, fouls off down towards the Tom Sox dugout. No balls and 1 strike to Smith. He's 0 for 2 on the night, with 2 strikeouts. Now he's down 0-1 here to Friedman. Friedman already has 3 strikeouts on the night and just under 2 innings of work. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed, and it's in the dirt. Smith now down 0-2.
It was just a dagger ball right there by Friedman. Low and fast.
Friedman peering in, waiting for the sign. Comes set on the mound. Peers back at Levy at second. Decides to pitch. That one's swung on and it's fouled behind the Turks' first base coach. So the count will stay at 0-2 to Bryson Smith. Smith ready for the 0-2 pitch from Friedman. Bounces off the plate, gets past the catcher, and both runners will advance. The Turks now have runners at second and third with 2 outs. 2 runners in scoring position. As Levy's now at third, and Caston Peters found his way to second. And a 1-2 count. After that pass ball got by Selden, rolled all the way to the backstop, and the Turks runners advanced.
Yeah, talking with Selden, talking with the coach right there. Just trying to make some adjustments.
So Smith now has a chance to make something happen. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, 2 outs, Turks leading 4-2. The umpire calls time. Smith steps back into the box. The pitch from Friedman, high and inside. The count will even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. A 2-2 count to Smith as he steps back into the box. He's got 2 runners in scoring position. Friedman comes set, fires the pitch in there. A check swing from Smith, but he didn't go all the way, and it's in the dirt, so it's going to be a ball, and the count will go full.
Yeah, 2 outs for the Turks, so Friedman's going to be looking to put this one away.
Smith, the infielder out of Naples, Florida, plays his college ball at the University of Texas along with Caston Peter. The pitch from Friedman. That one's in the dirt, and it's a walk. It gets past the catcher. Levy's going to come home to score, and the Turks have a 5-2 lead now in the bottom of the 5th inning. The ball just got past Selden and rolled all the way to the backstop, and Levy came around to score. Peter advanced to third on the play. And now Smith is at first with the walk. And that's going to bring up the center fielder, Jacob Edwards, came in to replace Lynch for his first at-bat of the night.
Jacob Edwards out of High Point, North Carolina. He set a single-season strikeout record with 132 strikeouts and 12 wins during his senior year of high school and was a conference pitcher of the year there. Also receiving all-state and all-area honors as Selden and Friedman huddle up real quick to make some adjustments.
It's a pretty solid season, setting your single-season record in strikeouts. 132 strikeouts in his senior year of high school.
Yeah, a lot of talent coming here to the Turks and to the Valley League.
So runners on the corners for the Turks. The first pitch, runner goes. The throw down to second.
Madden.
Peter comes from third to score. The Turks now lead 6-2 as Selden threw to second trying to get Smith out.
Yeah, the shortstop, Kevin Madden, just bobbled that right there, and the Turk was able to get it to second.
As Selden threw,
Right,
Peter
Smith
came home from third to score and give the Turks another run. So now Smith is at second. Still 2 outs in the inning, a 6-2 lead for the Turks as Jacob Edwards takes a 1-0 pitch outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Edwards also playing as a left-handed pitcher, having a 4.97 ERA in 50.2 innings pitched.
The 2-0 pitch, that one misses just low. So now 3 balls and no strikes to Edwards. Looked like Friedman had the Turks number there for a little bit. Set them down in order in the 4th inning. Started off the 5th inning all right, but now he's given up 3 runs. There's a 3-0 pitch is just on the edge of the plate for a called strike. That one gets in there. So 3 balls and 1 strike for Edwards. The pitch misses low, and he'll take his base. He gets a walk. The Turks with a 2-out rally.
Bring up.
Back to the top of the Turks order. McCann Mellett will come back up to the plate. He reached base in the 1st inning on a walk. He's grounded out to 2nd. Both at bats after that. A 6-2 lead for Harrisonburg. As Mellett fouls off the first pitch that he sees, that one made it over the net and I think over the stands out of the park. No balls and 1 strike as heard some kids run by trying to chase after that foul ball.
Still trying to get that freezy pop. There they go again.
The 0-1 pitch misses just outside. Mellett takes it for a ball. 1-1. Friedman peering in for the sign from Selden. He comes set, fires the pitch in there, swung on, and that one's fouled into the net down the 3rd base line.
Mellett, best friends with Jed Bryan here on the team, and that's one of the things Coach Weiss looks for in these summer leagues, because he's not only trying to coach these baseball players to get to them to the majors, but just creating those relationships and those bonds that can last a lifetime.
The 1-2 pitch from Mellett swung on and missed, and he goes down swinging to end the inning. But the Turks get 3 runs across on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 runs left on base in the bottom of the 5th. Turks lead 6-2 as we head to the top of the 6th inning. You're listening to Valley League Baseball on the Harrisonburg Turks.
Welcome back, Valley League Baseball fans. We're here. This is game 2 of 4 that you're going to be seeing from opening day. And as both Aaron Graham and I all said before, between the pitching and that magical 5th inning, as Aaron phrased it, it was just too much for Charlottesville to overcome. They might get the last laugh at the very end of the season, but at game 1, it was Harrisonburg 9, Charlottesville 4.
Nice. All right, Aaron, you know what? After not having any baseball this season at all with the COVID-19 thing, I got to be honest, it's so refreshing to see some action and to see some offense. You brought it up before we saw the highlights from that game. What's your reaction now that we've had a chance to see the game up close?
Yeah, 5 runs in the 5th inning, and a lot of them came at the bats of Josh Madole and Aaron Levy. They both had 2 hits. Madole went 2 of 3, and Levy went 2 of 4 on the day. They provided a big spark for their team offensively, and I would hang on to Josh Madole's name. He's a player out of UNCG, and he eventually went on to be the team's MVP at the end of the season.
Yeah, I love that. So part of what you're going to get this season there, you're going to get a chance to know who to watch, and you're going to get a chance to see them develop over the course of these 42 games. All right, Jordan, what do we have on tap for our game 3 of our opening day?
On tap, game 3, we're going to go and take a look at the Front Royal Cardinals and the Stanton Braves. And to keep the theme going with big offense, this one had the most of it in all of the opening day action from last year. And when you really look at it, though, at the end of the day, there may have been a combined 20 runs. Not going to give away that final score yet. A lot of offense, but there were some glaring stats that don't necessarily come from the offensive side of this game, and they come from Front Royal's pitching. And I want to bring up the pitching again. And a lot of runs, they can come off of, dare I say it, sloppy pitching. If you look at Phineas Pratt in this game, 2.1 innings pitched, allowing 2 hits and 3 runs. Now, that might not sound so bad, but he allowed 5 walks. And at the same time, so did Kyle Turner, who came in to relieve Pratt. He gave up another 5 walks as well. There would be 12 total walks given up in this game by Front Royal, and Stanton would take advantage of it.
Yeah, I don't know, Aaron. If someone's walking, is that offense or is that defense? What's your take on this one?
I think that it's good. It's good. It's offense because you have to be able to, read the pitch and where you're going with it and or not to swing. I don't know. All I know is that we keep talking about pitching, and you said there were 20 total runs in this game. So when did they happen? How did they happen? Can we please go to the tape?
Kyle Turner still on the mound for the Cardinals. Eli Davis, 1 for 1 tonight, 2 walks and a home run. He's come around to score in each at-bat. First pitch to Davis. It's going to be outside ball 1. The bottom of the 6th inning. Braves up by 3. 1-0 pitch, Turner to Davis. It's fouled back. Third base side. Count even at 1-1. One ball, one strike. Liner back up the middle, base hit. Goes into center field. Right will corral it. Throw back into the infield, so Davis will be held at first. 2 for 2 now for Eli Davis. He has reached base all 4 times, and the Braves have another leadoff base runner.
48, Andrew Check.
Andrew Check now the batter, first baseman, hitting left-handed for the Braves. 0 for 2 so far tonight. He did walk back in the 3rd inning. Quick throw over to first base, and back in time is Davis. Righty and lefty the matchup. First pitch, good pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch high and outside, so 1-1 now the count to Davis. Davis out of Stanton, Tennessee, sophomore at Arkansas State University, out in Jonesboro. 1-1 the count. He'll watch another pitch outside again, so 2-1. He's ahead in the count. He's got a runner on first base in the form of Eli Davis after he led off the inning with a single to center field. 2-1 pitch, base hit, left center gap. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Davis to third. He's going to be waved around. Here's the throw into the plate. No, he's going to be held at the last minute, and a good decision as Baggett got the cutoff throw and would have been out by a mile. Would have been Eli Davis. So the Braves will settle for runners in scoring position, 2 of them to be exact, in the bottom of the 6th inning. Still no men out. Boy, Davis was being set until the very last minute. A very good decision by the third base coach. Cardinals bringing the infield in already after the second double of the game by the Braves. But it's 2 runners in scoring position, no men out, bottom of the 6th inning, Braves by 3. First pitch to Pastor, inside, ball 1. Duncan Pastor, the third baseman for the Braves. 0 for 1 so far with a fielder's choice and a walk. He, of course, got 2 RBI on that fielder's choice. Pitch is in there for strike 1. Davis off third, Check off second. Turner, the 1-1 pitch to Pastor. It's in the dirt, ball 2. Duncan Pastor, the native of Tampa, Florida, had 2-1 in the count. Now he's ahead 3-1 after he watches the next pitch, a little low and outside. So if you're Pastor here, ahead 3-1 in the count, no men out, 2 men in scoring position, you got to be looking for a perfect pitch here to swing at. Infield again in for the Cardinals. We'll see if he can push it right through him. Chopper, third base side foul. He was a little ahead of that one and was fouled by about 5 to 10 feet as Bell scooped it up. Carson Bell newly entered into the game playing third base. Baggett also now playing shortstop. He also pinch hit back in the top of the 6th inning for the Cardinals. 3-2 now the count, payoff pitch. Duncan Pastor. Chopper, second base. It's going to stay in the infield. Mehenet's going to look the runner back to third, toss over to first base for the first out of the inning, and an unproductive out at that.
Now batting the catcher, number 10, Devin Adams.
So a 4-3 put out. Davis still standing at third. Check still standing at second. Devin Adams, the catcher now, will be the next man up. 0 for 2 thus far. Did walk back in the 3rd inning. The 5-hole hitter for the Braves takes the first pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Seen a lot of pitches in the dirt tonight from the Cardinals, and especially Kyle Turner. Cardinals have not had their best command tonight, which I guess partly explains why the Braves have 8 runs on 2 hits. Want to know the count, infield still in. Adams checks his swing, but it's going to be a called strike nevertheless. So count even at 1. Once again, 1 man out, 2 men on. Bottom of the 6th inning, Braves lead on opening night, 8-5. One pitch, had to duck out of the way. Did Devin Adams. It didn't really come close to hitting him, but it was definitely inside. So 2-1 now the count. Another good hitter's count here for the Braves in the last couple innings. They've gotten plenty of those, and Adams looked for a good pitch to hit. Adams will watch ball 3 up high. Waterman had to reach toward the sky to get that one, so 3-1 now the count. About the best hitter's count you can ask for to the number 5 hitter in Devon Adams. A swing and a miss. Boy, he was out in front of that one, was Adams. He's looking to do some serious damage there, and swung a bit harder than he should have, maybe. So 3-2 the count. 1 man out, 2 men in scoring position, bottom of the 6th. Payoff pitch from Turner. Swing and a foul back to the screen. So staying alive is Adams. Kent Rooklyn waits on deck. He's the DH for the Braves. He's 0 for 2 thus far. Adams, of course, looking for at least a productive out. Here's the 3-2 pitch. He turns away, ball 4, just inside. Pitch ran inside, and good discipline by Adams, so he'll go to first base. Check will stay put at second. Davis stays put at third as well.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 27, Kent Rooklyn.
The 5th walk of the game surrendered by Turner, the 10th of the game total for his team. Bases loaded. Now here's the first pitch to Rooklyn, strike 1. Rooklyn has the bases loaded. 1 man out, bottom of the 6th. Trying to extend that lead. No breeze at the moment. Here's the 0-1 pitch in the dirt, ball 1. A good sliding stop by Waterman. He had to slide to his right side to prevent another wild pitch. So the count even at 1-1. One pitch to Rooklyn. He fouls it, hits him while he's still in the batter's box. So that'll be a foul ball. 1-2 now the count. Turner and his team looking for a ground ball here. Most likely that would get them out of the inning. without surrendering a run. The infield is playing double play depth up the middle from Baggett and Menhanet. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. A swing and a line shot foul. Hits off the tree and comes back into the bleachers. So a good defensive swing from Brooklyn. He'll stay alive, give himself another opportunity. Count 1-2, one man down, bases juiced here in the bottom of the 6th inning in Stanton. He'll watch this pitch up high, taken for a ball, so 2-2 now the count. He works it back even. Davis off third, Check off second. Adams off first. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Brooklyn. Swing, bouncing ball back up the middle. Baggett only plays at first, and he doesn't make it, or does he? No, it was dropped. We couldn't tell the umpire's signal, but it's going to, in fact, be an error on the shortstop. And the 9th run of the game comes across to score for the Braves, and that might just about do it for Turner. And yes, it looks like it will. So 9-5 now our score. The Braves extend their lead. On the air, it will be an RBI, I do believe, because the runner on third, Davis, would have scored either way. We do have a new pitcher to announce. Kyle Turner leads the game, giving up 6 runs, 5 of those earned. This will be Andrew Hoggett coming in for the Cardinals, the senior from McKendree College. Left-hander delivers his first pitch outside, ball 1. Batter is Casey Heyer, the second baseman for Stanton. Pitch is lined foul back over that third base dugout across the street. So 1-1 now the count. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, bottom of the 6th inning. Bases loaded for the Braves. How many times have we said that tonight? Lefty on lefty, here's the pitch. It's outside, ball 2. Good hitters count here for Casey Heyer. Heyer is 0 for 2 tonight. He walked back in the 2nd inning, double play in the 3rd inning, and popped out to the second baseman, Menhanet, shortly after. 2-1 pitches, low in the dirt, so 3-1 the count. Nowhere to put him. 9-5 our score. Braves looking to add at least 1 more. Logan Flood waits on deck. Here's the 3-1 pitch. It's going to be low, ball 4. It's going to be an RBI for Hire, as coming in to score is Check. And it is 10-5 Braves.
Now batting the left fielder, number 22, Logan Flood.
Going to third is Devin Adams on the walk. Rooklyn to second on Hire's walk. He will get an RBI for that. First pitch is in there to Flood, strike 1. That is the first walk of the game for Hoggett, the 11th of the team. Oh, 1 the count to Flood. Chopper back to the pitcher Hoggett. He comes up with it. He'll flip home and get the force out at home. A heads-up play by Hoggett. So that'll cut down the run at the plate. The score remains 10-5 in favor of the Braves here in the bottom of the 6th inning. That was the second out.
Now batting the shortstop, number 20, Ryan McCarty.
Rooklyn makes it to third on that play. Kent Rooklyn, that is. Casey Hire to second. Flood now on first base after the fielder's choice. So here's Ryan McCarty, the shortstop, batting ninth. He'll take the first pitch, low, ball 1. And the throw back to the pitcher nearly got away. My goodness. That's a live ball, of course. But Hoggett's able to corral it, so 1-0 the count. Bases loaded. Swing and a miss by McCarty. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. After a big swing by McCarty. Hoggett, the left-hander, deals another swing and a miss by McCarty. So after taking the first pitch for a ball, he's now behind in the count, 1-2. 1 strike away are the Cardinals from getting out of this with just giving up 2 runs. 1-2 the count. Swing, liner, it's going to get through over the head of Baggett. 1 run is in, rounding third base, and coming to the plate is Rooklyn. He'll score. Rooklyn scores, Hire scores. It's 12-5 Braves, and they are blowing this thing open. Or so it appears. 2 RBI base hit, behind in the count. McCarty delivers.
Now batting the center fielder, number 21, Callaway Sigler.
Now 7 players for the Braves have RBIs after that clutch hit from McCarty. Now the lineup will flip over. Callaway Sigler stands in. He takes the first pitch up high for ball 1. Waiting on deck is Eli Davis, who led off this inning with a single. Braves just 1 batter from batting around. 1-0 the count, 2 men on. Sigler swings, foul back into the parking lot, first base side. So count now even at 1. Once again, 2 men down, 12-5 Braves. They have extended their lead once more. In the bottom of the 6th inning. Sigler with a double on his line score, takes the next pitch inside. It's going to be 2-1. Flood off second. McCarty off first. Fly ball, center field. Back goes right to the wall, and he's going to haul it in a step before hitting the sign in straightaway center field. So a loud final out of the inning for the Braves. They'll go away, but not before they scratch across 4 more runs after 6 complete innings of play. The Braves lead on opening night in Stanton, 12-5 over the Cardinals.
All right, baseball fans, there's your glimpse of the 2019, also the 2020 Front Royal Cardinals and the Stanton Braves. Hey, look, I got to just tell you that I can't stop thinking about the Front Royal Cardinals from 2019. Season opened around the 27th, I think, of May in 2019. And a couple days later, I was in Front Royal, Virginia, for their Hall of Fame inductions, and I had no idea what to expect. I walk in there, helping with the live stream, and who should be on the field but Roberto Hernandez and Dana Allison? Just absolutely blew me away. There's an interview with Roberto and Dana up on our YouTube site. We had a nice chat with them. They were inducted into the Front Royal Cardinals Hall of Fame. Roberto Hernandez is one of only 11 guys to appear in 1,000 Major League games. He played in Front Royal. He made a transition from catching to pitching in Front Royal, and his son was playing in the 2019 season. So someone to watch is Juan Hernandez, who played for the Front Royal Cardinals in 2019. That just blows me away. Dana Allison is a Warren County success story. Born and bred, rose up through the county leagues, went on to play in Front Royal, and went on into the pros. If you'd like to know more about either one of those players, go to back about 40 clips, and you'll see the interviews with them on our Valley Baseball League YouTube website. They just blow me away. But enough about kind of a preview of what's going to come to the Hall of Fame. Jordan, wrap up that game for us.
This was a game full of offense, and whether pitching offensively or defensively paid an impact, the impact was felt. This would be a 20-run game, and 13 of which would belong to Stanton. They would take their home opener, get the 1-0 record to start the season. They knock off Front Royal 13-7.
All right, Aaron, and first perspective here on Front Royal and Stanton, what's your take?
Huge innings by the Braves. The bottom of the sixth, they went from 8-5 to 12-5. They scored a ton of runs in this one, as we see with 13. There were 14 hits by both teams combined, and a lot of that was because of Stanton's Eli Davis. He ended up being the hitter of the day for all of opening day baseball in 2019. He's out of Arkansas State. He ended up with the line, went 2 for 3. He had 4 runs scored himself, drove in 2 runs, had a home run, and then he walked twice. So we kind of throw that in with the debate we had earlier. There's 2 walks from him.
Yeah, and that's a tough park to hit home runs in. That's Bing Crosby Stadium. They have the Warren County Baseball League is right out there beyond the outfield fence. And so I forget what their wall's at, 20 feet. And then they have a net that goes up another 16 feet. So if you get it in the net, I think you get a standing double. But to hit a home run there, you've got to put it over that net. John Leonard's in the process of compiling stats for how home run friendly or unfriendly the parks are. That particular park strikes me as more home run unfriendly than friendly. So a home run there is certainly an accomplishment. All right, Jordan, what's our fourth and final game for this opening day 2020?
Fourth and final game, Graham, and we arguably save the best one for last. It's kind of hard to beat an opening day game that comes with extra innings, but we got a 10th inning in this one, and not only did we get a fantastic finish, we got a fantastic finish in the home ballpark of the defending champs. We're talking about the Newmarket Rebels, who are going to come in and host the Strasburg Express. Now, Newmarket had the 2018 championship. You got to defend it, and you have to come off strong, but it was a 3-3 tie going into the 10th, which is where we're going to introduce the fans to. And this game, I don't want to give away how it ends, but it's one of the most unusual finishes, and unfortunately for one of these two teams, it's also one of the most devastating ends that you could have to an opening season, but the fashion that it was done in is still mind-blowing.
Yeah, styling. All right, so Aaron, what's your perspective on the first 9 innings of this game and your take on our 2018 champs?
Yeah, this was a battle to go full 9 innings and keep answering each other, keeping it 3-3 to head into extras. It was really exciting, and I was kind of interested to see how Newmarket's field, it is smaller. You just talked about the different fields and how easy it is to hit at different places or harder. And I do think that they have a pretty batter-friendly field there. It's a pretty small field. So we'll see if that played in to how the game unfolded.
Yeah, well, just, one of the things we want to do is give you guys things to watch this season. So Zach Cole, to me, is one of the great success stories out of the Valley Baseball League. He spent 3 years with Newmarket up to 2018. They won the championships in 2018. He just transitioned to the Waynesboro Generals. So he's somebody you want to watch on Waynesboro, and you also want to watch Newmarket working with their new coach for 2019 season. So a couple of themes there. All right, Aaron, you did such a good job last time. Why don't you throw it to the the extra inning of the Newmarket game.
Let's play ball.
This is Newmarket Rebels baseball on the Valley Baseball League Network. Off to the bottom of the 10th. My scripting of the game is the Rebels will wrap it up here with a win. Right, this inning is half inning. McGowan returns for Strasburg in relief. His second inning work. He retired to side in order. His first effort. And trying to keep some notes for the post-game interviews again, which will not be live on air this evening. They will be recorded and made available on the Valley League Facebook and Rebels Facebook tomorrow. But I have some note cards. I've almost got too many notes on them, so I have to manage that.
Yeah, and Dennis, you mentioned the Rebels traveling to Woodstock tomorrow. Woodstock picked up a win in their season opener against Purcellville, 7-5. Harrisonburg Turks still battling the Tom Sox. Turks up 7-3 in the top of the 7th. Stanton Braves over the Front Royal Cardinals 13-7. And the Waynesboro Generals picked up a 5-2 win over Covington.
Thank you. And I got to believe that's all the rest of the action in the league. We're the only ones still going, huh? First pitch, swing and a miss by Alvaro Valdez.
Only one still going is Harrisonburg and Charlottesville, it seems, and that's because they got started late due to the rain.
Exactly. Understood. There's a solid poke, but foul off to the left. And speaking of Woodstock, they have a new head coach, Mike Bocock. They finished the season 5-37 last year. And of the 5, the Valley League champions, that is us, gave them 2 of those wins. So we were being too neighborly for them. They were both 5-4 scores, 5-37. All right, here comes the 0-2 pitch. Way outside, 1-2. Mike Bocock is a coach in lots of places, and including in the Rockingham County Baseball League.
Bocock is a very, very familiar name for anyone who watches the Rockingham County Baseball League.
Long time also with the late Luray Wranglers across the mountain. Franchise went out of business 2012. 2-2. But the likes of Daniel Murphy came out of that effort over there. Of course, we claim Brett Gardner still playing with the Yankees. He was a Rebel. There's a foul off to the left, which brings me the opportunity to say, find out a whole lot more about the current and Rebels of the past at our webpage, newmarketrebels.com. I was impressed with the improvements in its appearance and functionality, so visit there, maybe tomorrow. There's a little tapper, 2 hops, big hop out to shortstop, and he beats this out. It's a ground single to 6. I knew with 2 slow hops, he could do it. So we got our leadoff runner on. It was close. All right, Brady Haryu now. Time for him to deliver. Opportunity. Our largest position player, 6'4", 220. The fellow who led the JMU Dukes in home runs this year with a 9.
And Haryu certainly had his share of clutch hits for the Dukes this season.
1 for 3 tonight with a single. And it's a breaking ball, almost broke his helmet. Slow speed pitch, off speed, but he had to duck way down, 1-0. There was a week I was following him closely that he had an 8-game hitting streak and hit a grand slam in that week. It was in March. So another one way inside. So right now McGowan is too tight on Haryu, 2-0. This field's a little smaller than Eagle Field, Brady. There's a fouled off. It's 2-1.
Yes, it is, and I had the chance to have a chat with him about that, and seems seems confident in what he could potentially do on the smaller field this summer.
However, it's very cool this evening, so the ball won't carry as well as it would have at 8 p.m. Pitch is high on a 6'4" batter, so it's way high. It's 3-1.
But
so when it's damp and chilly, it takes a little more power to get it out of here, but he has it.
He has it. He also doesn't have.
How about that? Another high pitch. We got our first two guys on. There's a walk.
Brady doesn't have quite the wind gusts that he gets there at Eagle Field that can really push the ball along sometimes.
Okay, Brandon Rembrandt is up now with the golden opportunity. We have on second base, scoring position, the winning run in this this 3-3 tie. I already scored it, so it's in my mind. We're tied up 3-3. We're in the top of the 10th. We have Brady Haryu on first and Alvaro Valdez on second. And Brandon Rembrandt, opportunity to, he's already showing bunt. This amazing strategy here. Pulls the ball back, and it's called a ball. Of course, the fielders were charging, both first and third. We're charging.
Rembrandt did bat .345 this spring.
Strategy wheels need a lot of oil on them now. They're spinning so fast. He's already showing bunt. He pulls it back, gets past the catcher. We're going to get more free bases. So we're on second and third now with no outs. Going to get the ruling. It is a passed ball on express catcher Horn.
Scooter Ray.
I'm sorry, Scooter Ray catching, yeah. Thank you for double checking that. Pass ball, guys in primo scoring position.
Yeah, and I think that's the right call. That ball was definitely very catchable and just blew right by him.
I'm happy with either scoring on that. So, righto. Pitch is low and inside. 3-0. They issue the intentional walk on the opportunity to. So bases are loaded. I wonder why they did that, but there they are. Giovanni Lorenzo up there now. The chap who just happened to hit the 3-run home run in the exhibition game. That doesn't count for a lot, but it sure was fun to watch. Right now tonight, Lorenzo is 0 for 3. He had a walk too. Bases loaded, nobody out. Rebels need just one to go home happy. Swing and a miss. 0-1. The pitch is well placed, low and outside. That was well done by Christian McGowan. What a great scenario. Bottom of the 10th, 3-3, bases loaded, no outs. There's a Tapper foul outside of third. Express fans are biting their nails big time. Rebels fans are leaning forward in anticipation. It is 0-2. Needs to protect the plate. Does Giovanni Lorenzo. Lefty batter, righty pitcher. There's a foul down third base way out of play. Count holds 0-2. As far as trying to score on any kind of a shallow hit or a slow roller, I think our third base guy, Alvaro Valdez, has pretty good speed. There's a nicely done plate protection foul off by Lorenzo.
Yeah, Valdez stole a couple bases in the spring, 4 of 7 on stolen bases versus attempts, so he has a little bit of speed there. Is listed as an outfielder, so he's got to be able to cover ground pretty well.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Gets away. This lob will bring in. It started late from third. He'll get there in time, and the winning run scores on either wild pitch or pass ball. Wild pitch, and the Rebels win 3-2. 10th inning on a wild pitch, and the winning run was scored by Alvaro Valdez. What an amazing game.
Incredible finish to open the season.
So it took, there was one hit to start off the inning to shortstop, but one hit, one run, no errors, and 3 guys left on. Well, so the Rebels get it started the right way. It's 3-7-3 for the Express for your summary, and 4-6-1 for the Rebels. And we get Serrano gets the win. He was on duty. And I guess McGowan obviously gets the loss. So, like your observations, if we could, on this one, Nathan, and then we'll do a quick wrap up here. Then we'll go down the field.
You know, both pitching staffs had a great game. Rebels guys really pitched well out of the pen, and you got to give credit to Serrano coming in as, you know, expecting to be the closer kind of guy, expecting to come in the first game and hopefully get a save, and ends up coming in, pitches a couple innings, strikes out 6, and gets the win in extra innings. And, you know, there's really not much more of an exciting way to open a summer baseball season.
Exactly right. So let's give you the best bats for each team. For the Rebels, Cox was 2 for 5. He's the only multi-hit guy. And over there for the Express, nobody had, yes, Freeze, number 9 batter, was 2 for 4. So again, this video streaming is brought to you by Sheetz and Subway.
And that, fans, is going to conclude the hectic finale. Christian McGowan, a wild pitch, and that will score in Alvaro Valdez from Newmarket to get the defending champs their first win of the 2019 and 2020 campaign. Newmarket, in 10 innings, knocks off the Strasburg Express by a final score of 4-3.
Yeah, so I got to tell you, so my first introduction to the Valley Baseball League was back in 2016. I was wandering through the stands doing interviews with the at the Winchester Royals game, and there was a guy there. He's always been at the games, and you know. And I remember interviewing him. I'll put the link in this YouTube thing. Anyway, he said, you know, he loves the games. Anything can happen in the Valley League. He talks about seeing a team that came out and beat some team 9-1 on one night, and he went back to see the same 2 teams play the next night, and they got creamed, something like 16-8 or something like that. Aaron, how do you come to the Valley League? How do you summarize the craziness that you've seen for this opening day on the Valley League?
I think it can be summarized in this bottom of the 10th inning. You had a drop third strike. You had a passed ball that ended up putting the runner in scoring position. You have an intentional walk to load the bases, and we can debate that decision if you guys want to. The bases are loaded, and then we have a wild pitch. And as you said, Valdez was able to slide into home, and it was a walk-off stolen home plate, basically.
Well, so let's debate that a little bit. Aaron, you've been following summer leagues for a while now. You're in the hot seat. You're general manager, or if you prefer manager of the team. What's your call? Do you do that? Do you let that walk go by? How would you have handled that?
Well, I understand the reason behind loading the bases because you have force out at every base. But if your pitcher hasn't been doing well and you had what we saw earlier, the passed ball, the drop third strike, then I'm not sure that I would put all of my eggs in the basket of the pitcher and the catcher doing their job and getting the ball into play right there where you can make an out.
Yeah, well said. Well, so you know what? I'm going to throw a little theme at you guys to think about, because this is something that's going to develop over the 2020 season as we discuss these games. You know, one of the things that I've heard coaches say in all the podcasts we've done is, you know, they're sending their players here to get live reps. And so whether it's pitchers on the mound facing batters or it's batters facing live pitches, you know, they're here to get their reps. And so part of what we're trying to do is educational. I've seen coaches come in who could have won games by replacing their pitchers early, but at the same time, you know, it's the chance the pitcher may have dug themselves into a hole. Can they get themselves out? Because that's part of what they need to go on to be a good pitcher. And so I'm kind of curious, you know, what's your thought? And the same thing's true for building a team. these players are here to get their reps in. And how do you ask them to, do a sacrifice bunt? We just talked to the Strasburg Express in a recent podcast. Get them to do a sacrifice bunt when, they're really here for a short time and they want to get their swings in. You know what, Jordan, what's your take on that? Do we as a league go for educating the player and giving them live reps, or do we as a league go for trying to win? What's your thought?
I think, you know what, Graham, that's a great question. I think it's important to find the 50-50 mix, in my opinion. And definitely, especially when you have a lot of college athletes playing in these baseball games, it is important to set them up in situations where when you go pro, you may see this again one day, and it is important to go in there and develop them in the very early stages before you get to a AA, AAA, even pro level. And doing this in Valley Baseball is a fantastic opportunity, and it should be acted on. However, in certain circumstances such as this, there is also the possibility for managers and for coaching to grow as well. And this is also a chance to learn from just your possibilities here. If you have a situation where you don't necessarily need to load the bases in this certain circumstance, I don't think you take it. I think you still go for the win. It is possible to be both educational but competitive at the same time. And there is that chance that, hey, the players may have learned from this, but other managers, even ones that may not have been there, if you see a highlight like this in an opening day baseball game against the defending champions, everyone, good and bad, can learn from this. But definitely, I don't think every unnecessary risk is worth taking. But you know what? At the end of the day, Graham and Aaron, as you've both said, this is a fantastic learning experience, and not everything that you learn from is going to be a good one.
Yeah, Aaron, what about you? What are your thoughts on all this?
I think that it's incredible that this is just day one and we have so many things to talk about. It kind of shows what the Valley Baseball League is all about. There are a lot of opportunities for athletes. Hitters want to hit, they want to come in and get their at-bats, and the pitchers want to get their innings. Obviously, they want to all continue to improve, but I think that it helps them to understand the strategy of a game too. And as you mentioned, it is a developmental league for the coaches as well. And yes, it's day one. These coaches, they don't know their players at all at this point. So everybody's trying to figure each other out first game of the season. So I'm sure they'll kind of reach a happy medium as far as everybody getting their chance to play and the coaches trying to get them to win.
Yeah, that is so well said. I've said it at least 100 times now, and I'm going to say it 101. And you hit on it right there, Aaron. Dayton Moore says it best. He was general manager here for the Winchester Royals, went on to be general manager for the Kansas City Royals. If you don't know, under Dayton Moore's leadership, they were the 2015 World Series champions. Did a nice interview with him, and Dayton says it best. The Valley League is really a training ground for players, coaches, trainers, announcers. And so I may have to find that coach from that game and find out, because, the thing I like so much about baseball is it is a game of failures. And I wonder if they had it to do over again, if he would have done the same thing. But hey, how else are you going to learn? So with that, we are going to say thank you for joining us for this open day montage. Jordan did a great job. He's been working for weeks putting this together for you. We hope you enjoyed it. Really great to have Jordan's perspective, Aaron's perspective on this. And we're going to do it again tomorrow. Jordan, tell everybody what you have on tap for tomorrow.
All right, Graham, I'm glad you asked. Well, day two, and there won't be a montage for day two. We are going to start getting into single game recaps at this point. But there was a fantastic game on day two of the season between the Stanton Braves and the Covington Lumberjacks. And I don't want to get into too many details, but there were quite a few unearned runs in this game that went a big way for one of these two teams. You're going to have to catch it tomorrow.
Well, there you have it. Baseball fans, thanks for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you all here. For the Valley Baseball League and everyone involved, Jordan and Aaron and myself, we wish you all a safe and perfect health, and we wish you all a speedy return to the baseball diamond. If you can't get there before tomorrow night, please join us on this YouTube channel, because we'll be there ready to entertain you with another look. Yeah, it's a baseball rewind from 2019, but We're going to give you a perspective you didn't get the first time. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Jordan. Thanks, Aaron. We'll see you all again tomorrow night.